Saudi won't allow airspace to be used for military action against Iran, Crown Prince says. Trump warns of bad things if Republicans lose midterms. Deputy Chief Minister of India's Maharashtra dies in plane crash, TV channels say. Trump aide Miller says Minneapolis agents may have breached protocol. In 6 violent encounters, evidence contradicts Trump immigration officials' narratives. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has told Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian that Saudi Arabia will not allow its airspace or territory to be used for any military action against Iran, according to the Saudi press agency. During a phone call, the Crown Prince said Riyadh supports efforts to resolve differences through dialogue to strengthen regional security and stability. Iranian media reported that President Pezeshkian welcomed any process, in line with international law, that helps prevent war. Saudi Arabia's position follows a similar statement from the United Arab Emirates, which also said it would not permit its airspace or waters to be used for military operations against Iran. Tensions have remained high after US President Donald Trump said last week that an armada was heading toward Iran, though he said he hoped military action would not be necessary. The United States has since deployed an aircraft carrier and supporting warships to the Middle East, according to US officials. Trump warned Tehran over its handling of protests and its nuclear program. While nationwide demonstrations in Iran have eased, rights groups say thousands were killed during the unrest, describing it as the most severe crackdown since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Iranian authorities deny the allegations, blaming the violence on what they call terrorists and rioters backed by opposition groups abroad. US President Donald Trump has warned of very bad things if Republicans lose control of Congress in November's midterm elections, as he launched a nationwide campaign push focused on the economy. Speaking at a rally in Iowa, an early battleground state in US elections, Trump urged voters to help Republicans retain majorities in both the Senate and the House, despite his low approval ratings. He said a defeat would threaten key policies, including tax cuts. Trump's speech came amid unrest in neighboring Minnesota, where 2 people have died this month during an immigration crackdown. While the president said earlier he would seek to de-escalate tensions after a federal agent shot a nurse in Minneapolis, he largely avoided the issue during his address. The White House says Trump will travel weekly ahead of the midterms, where presidents traditionally face losses. His campaign has increasingly emphasized the economy, as polls show voter frustration over rising living costs. At the rally, Trump repeated claims that the US is entering a golden age and said prices are falling, though he acknowledged voters can be difficult to persuade. Recent polls show his approval rating around 40%. The Deputy Chief Minister of India's western state of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, has been killed after his charter aircraft crashed and burst into flames, according to television reports. Video footage showed thick smoke rising from burning wreckage scattered across an open field. Media reports said the aircraft, which was traveling from India's financial capital Mumbai, attempted an emergency landing near the city of Baramati before crashing. Authorities have not yet released further details on the cause of the accident. U.S. immigration agents may have breached operational protocol in Minneapolis before the fatal shooting of a nurse during protests, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller said on Tuesday. The admission comes days after Miller incorrectly described the victim as a would-be assassin following the incident. Miller, a key architect of President Donald Trump's immigration policy, told AFP that the White House is reviewing whether Customs and Border Protection (CBP) personnel failed to follow guidance designed to establish a protective buffer between arrest teams and protesters. He suggested the agency and the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) were being evaluated over their actions. The comments come in the wake of national outrage after 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Pretty was shot dead by federal immigration agents in Minneapolis during a protest against an ongoing immigration enforcement operation. While initial DHS statements claimed Pretty was armed and posed a threat, video evidence showed he was not holding a weapon when he was shot, although he had a sidearm that agents later removed. A Reuters review has found that senior officials in the Trump administration have repeatedly made public statements following violent encounters involving federal immigration agents that were later contradicted by video or other evidence. The review examined 6 incidents in recent months, including 2 fatal shootings of U.S. citizens in Minneapolis this month. In both cases, officials initially described the victims, Renee Good and Alex Pretty, as aggressors and said the shootings were justified. Subsequent evidence, however, raised questions about those accounts. In several incidents, video footage, court records, or medical findings challenged official statements. In one non-fatal shooting in Minnesota, court documents showed the incident began with mistaken identity. In another case, a death in an immigration detention center, initially described by the Department of Homeland Security as a suicide, was later ruled a homicide by a county medical examiner. Former immigration officials told Reuters the pattern represents a break from past practice, with authorities rushing to defend officers before key facts were established.